Tell me how you came up with the name Suga-T. You told me your name before. You got a slick ass name. It's a one of a kind name. I never heard nobody. Can you pronounce it if you don't mind? Please.
I don't want people calling me it, but it starts with a T.
Right.
Because I don't want to be separated. Like, I don't want to tell it,
Right.
name. And I'm like, who called me? And it's like, uh-oh, what I done, So, but yeah, I like my name. It came from my first name that starts with a T. And my brother actually gave me my name, Suga-T, because I had an original group member. Her name is Spice, and she's still my best friend today.
Okay.
So we were called Suga and Spice originally. Before I helped form the clique, we were MVP, Most Vicious Performers.
Right.
So we were a family and a group of multiple groups of family members and like family members,
right,
connected and separated in different groups and segments. So we had a group called Suga and Spice, and one of the albums one of the singles that we released was called Biker Season, and it was me, and it had that Jamaican funk beat, dun dun dun,
Right.
So it was rocking. We was talking about Biker Season when we all was wearing biker shorts. So Suga and Spice, which was my best friend at the time, still my best friend, but we rapped together. So we got separated when we both ended up getting pregnant. And
right.
She decided to be more domestic. I decided to continue with music,
right,
and be domestic at the same time. So when I did that and I got a little free, it kept me out of trouble by continuing to pursue music, because I started going in other directions, that was a little more risky. And my brother was like, you need to come with us. And so I was like, okay, well, let's do this. And we ended up making the group, the clique.
Okay, so prior to the clique, and prior to you appearing on Sprinkle Me, it wasn't a situation like, we need a cute girl, I'm gonna put my sister in it. You was really, really on your shit.
Yeah, that's real.
Sugar and Spice.
Yep.
Okay.
Sugar and Spice. So it wasn't like I just jumped in it. And before that, I was a singer. I sung music, and I was in church. I grew up singing in church. Yeah, that's how I really got my experience to really season my song. That's why I could sing, and I got groomed to get in front of people.
Right. Share with my viewers some of the hooks you did.
Yeah, so one of the known hooks is Hurricane, but you can call me Slurricane. That's one of them. And then there's one called Family. I got my family. Ooh, that's one of them. And then he said he's just a time of name ringing. Major factor, FedEx, high-powered lawyers, and a young nigga having his bread. Let him know, man. Let him know, boy. That's the FedEx song.
You so talented. You so talented. Goddamn, man. You still can sing, man. Like,
yeah, for sure.
shit.
And rap.
Okay.
I ain't letting them sit me down. I'm planning on proving to the world, that is my main cause, to let them know, just because you get older as a female, that you ain't supposed to just sit down, because they got this stuff twisted, and they got a false presentation of us out here, making it seem like when you get older, you're not relevant, but yet you see the males moving around in their elder age, and they're not being considered old and played out, and they need to sit down somewhere. So that's my life. It's real serious for me, this women empowerment, and especially when it comes down to ageism and sexism, which is why I opened up my museum called Her Museum.
Tell me more about the museum. We spoke about that. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So what Her Museum is about is women empowerment, but it's also family empowerment. So, a lot of the groups, that are out there, which I'm not mad at, they just only focus on women, and girls, to push the women and girl movement. My whole thing is about pushing women and girls to push the whole family movement, because that's what it's about for me. It's a family thing. So, and it's enough separation already going on amongst the female community and all that comes with that.
Right.
So I don't want to contribute to that. So what I did was I started the Her Museum, and we focus on 3 different objectives. And the one is we highlight women from history that had contributed to innovative places, from music, technology, film, community, and media. And we continue to keep them inclusive and introducing them, to the community, you know what I mean? And making sure that their presence is kept, respected, and appreciated, and celebrated, in order to maintain a level of keeping history.
Right.
Because if we don't keep our own history, then they're going to continue to sweep history amongst the rugs, and a lot of us brands and different those who have contributed and continue to that deserve to be present in history as well as present and that are alive today, you know, they can put us out of work, you know, and it's doing a disjustice to the people who are everyday deserve, especially when we are real innovators who brought positive change in people's lives. It's very important to sustain that, you know, that setup. And so that's one of our main values. And then of course we have a second objective, which is we attack or just intervene between the negative depiction of black women and girls in media and how that's impacted them. So our goal is to continue to reach girls, black girls and women, and tell them who they are and give them a sense of pride and of safety, you know, because it's unsafe for all these girls to think that they just got to be naked everywhere and that the only way they can survive is through music. And you know, it's just so many opportunities. So we introduce them to various pathways of success and safety, you know what I mean, and also give them a sense of pride so they can have a sustainable and safe, positive, and healthy life, you know what I mean. And then of course we also have the third objective, which is our last objective, and that's we serve as a safe platform for women and girls to implement their talent and to develop their talent. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a travel, and there's a we have exhibits in our home location, which is in San Francisco. We have franchisable options across the country, and we also have again travel and land and online. So it's a great opportunity. We have mentorship programs. We have different services that, you know, that keep violence prevention amongst women. We build sisterhoods within the scope of women and families and communities and leaders. And we have a host of different opportunities that people can connect with if they want to be a part. And also, of course, we have speaking options where people can, you know, can learn various elements that could keep them healthy, safe, economically empowered, and inspired.
You basically answered my follow-up question. I was going to ask you how you feel about a lot of the images promoted in society depicting same-sex relationships with females. How you feel about that?
You know, it's just interesting. I just think that all of this, a lot of this stuff should be kept, you know, in-house. So I think it's just an overkill of too much exposure, too much confusion. And I mean, you know, I think the same-sex girls is missing out on some good, missing out on some good, a great sensation, you know, that is, that gives you an opportunity to really reap benefits of a woman that men can't reap. So that's kind of my response to that. But it's interesting, very interesting.
Tell me what it was like meeting Tupac.
Tupac, it was great. Tupac was a great friend. He was a beautiful brother in the game who I wish was here today still. When he was around us, when we made Dusted and Disgusted, we did a remix of Dusted and Disgusted. Did you remember? It's some cold-hearted shit, some cold-hearted niggas.
Yeah.
That was, you know, that was, we did a remix of that, and we had just did a song called "What Goes Around Comes Around." I ain't trying to clown, but what goes around comes around. That's the way it goes down. And so we had just did that, and we were going to release that on our Click album, which was a great contribution that, you know, he had made. And then, of course, you know, just hanging out with him when, you know, in different situations, just the time that we did spend with him, it was a great time. And I just hate that he left so early, because I know if he was here, you know what? He wouldn't be letting us go down with women. He know the importance of older women, of us seasoned women, and the respect and appreciation of what we offer, you know what I mean? With a well-rounded approach, you know, like I said, your auntie, your big mama in the game, that really keeps the race and the culture alive, you know what I'm saying? Who really sows into your lineage, so your children from yesterday, today, and tomorrow have a chance, you know, to know what it really is. And when you just putting kids in front of the game and only respecting limited exposure, you know, it's nothing wrong with that, but you got to have a balance, and that's what we missing right now in the game. So I know he wouldn't let that go down. He would come and endorse me and many of the queens who deserve that.
Where were you at when you found out that he lost his life? September 14th, 96, I believe.
I was home. It was a really weird feeling. It didn't feel good. I was in the Bay. I wasn't out. I don't think I was touring. I think I was just, at that time it was we had a little space in the touring for that moment. But it was a really rough, weird feeling.
Okay. What was it like when the THRU era came to the West Coast? Because y'all was out before them. Y'all was a factor in the game before them. What was it like?
It was unique. We was like, oh my God, they kind of like us. We connected with them. We went and took pictures. It was together. The West Coast was actually together. The Bay and, in LA, which, we're all separated in terms of, from maybe 5 to 6 hour distance.
Right.
But we were able to hang out and connect with different artists that was connected to THRU. I didn't get in the middle of it because my brothers always protected me. They was like, I'm killing it if you try to, So it's like, you stay in the hotel room and that's where you're gonna be. So I really didn't get to be close to a lot of the leadership, the executives in it.
Right.
But I did get to hang out when we did different things like pictures, and we did a couple of tours.
Right.
We did a lot of stuff for magazines just to show our presence, and to represent the West. So,
who are the original members of the clique?
The original members of the clique is E-40, D-Shot, Be Legit, and myself.
Y'all all family?
All family. My brother's D-Shot, my other brothers, E-40, of course, those are my older brothers. My cousin is Be Legit. Now, we do have an honorary clique member that should have been a part of the clique, which is my brother, Young Muncie. So he really should be a part of it because he moved around just like us and had the same kind
What
of
was his name?
Young Muggsy.
Okay.
And the Mossy is the name of his group, the Mossy.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I remember that Mossy.
Yeah, Cavio and Young Muggsy.
No doubt. When was the last time that you guys actually took the stage together? Do y'all do the, the hip-hop legend shows and shit like that?
So from time to time we do, and just, I think the last time we did it was before the pandemic. There was some kind of a show. I can't remember, but it was good. So it was maybe about a little bit right before the pandemic. I think it was like a sick-witted explosion or something like that at the Oakland Coliseum. It really turned out really well.
Right.
Yeah, so as far as the legends of hip-hop, it's kind of interesting because there's a lot of politics to it,
Right.
The politics more so are, they usually like to take the artists from the same coast. So I think it's pretty bad, because they only take the artists from the same coast because it seems to be economically feasible, for them to kind of do the tour a little different. So I'd like to see it where they, basically there's one that's strong enough to take a variety, across the country, because there's so many people across the country that want to see people on the other side too.
Right.
So
give me the history of the word "sprinkle me." Where did it come from?
Well, Sprinkle Me came from it was a guy I was dating.
Okay.
His name was James. He's from Fillmore. May his soul rest in peace. San Quinn's father, actually.
Okay.
And so he would always come around us and talk. When we hung out, he was like, all right, 40, go on, sprinkle me, 40, go on, sprinkle me with some of that game. Sprinkle me, 40,
Right.
And he would just always say, sprinkle me. And so one day out the blue, I think my brother really enjoyed that. So he just called me to come to the studio. He was like, sis, come to the studio, come to this verse real quick. So I, dropped my kids off. I was like, I bring the kids. Like, no, just leave them. Just come through. So I came. We went to Richmond to the studio. Went in there, wrote the verse in 20 minutes. Next thing you know, it was a hit all over the world. And today, people love it. So I'm really grateful for that song. It's a different side of me. It's older,
right?
But it seems like it's always fresh to people. Like it does.
What was homeboy's name? You said he passed away.
James, yeah, JB.
Shout out to JB.
Shout out to JB.
Was he a slick talker?
Oh, he was a G. Yeah, he had that game. He was a G. He was smooth.
Is that what you would consider 40's signature song? Although he got other ones, One Love, he got Dustin Disgusted. Yeah, he got joints. Yeah. But people normally identify y'all with that.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of the songs back in the day that we had some songs we made, but they end up being put on somebody's album instead of group or our own. So it's kind of unique. But yeah, I think Sprinkle Me is probably his and mine,
right.
you know, because people just, I've never seen people dance to a slow song like that in the club. Right. When they come on in the club, they up. You know what I'm saying? They go way up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm looking to top that song.
No doubt.
And I think my new projects are that I'm gonna expose I don't want to necessarily say top it, but have the same type of impact, you know, on the people. Yeah.
So that's you singing on One Love?
That is me. I sung on the One Love, the One Love. That was the second. There were two versions of it. The first version, there was a girl named Marjuna. Okay. And then, which is our cousin also. And then the second one was more so the one I did, and that's the one that we pushed because Marjuna didn't decide to move around, so we needed to have something to fill that void. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, that's one of my favorite joints. Definitely one of my favorite joints. Thank you. So you still... And Viddy's on there too. My cousin LaViddy. Shout out to LaViddy.
Okay. So based on these last two, you done sung about 5 hooks since we've been on here. You still for hire?
Absolutely, yes. I do them all the time. Matter of fact, oh my God, I got such a big catalog that I'm catching up with all the features. We're doing my whole publishing thing, an upgrade, and oh my God, there's so many songs. So yes, I am still for hire. I got my latest album about to come out, so hopefully this video comes out. Wherever it is in the video, just look for the new stuff. Right. The new stuff will always be available. So just
make sure when you record that music video, you send it straight to me. Put it straight up.
It's actually going to be a contest that's going to finalize it. So we did record it already, but it's called the Do It, the Do It contest. So it's a track that's rock, you know. Champions, we already did it. First generation of rap, a heavy hitter, non-perpetrating, all gas, no quitter. Put respect on my name, clap back on a hater. Grown up, gang tight swagger, old lady hustle, non-board dagger. Yeah, picture that.
I'm impressed. Yeah. I'm impressed. Tell my viewers where they can find you at online, and tell them about the website.
Right on. You can find me at Suga-T, the Suga-T Show. Yep, and I'm about to, you know, make sure you look up the Sister Soul Rock. That's another one. That's a part of my museum series. So, you know, people are going to get a well-rounded experience with the new thing. Right. So it's all good. You know what I mean? Again, Suga-T, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and we rocking out. You know what I mean? Period.
Suga, it's been great. We finally got a chance to do this in person. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Your story, it all check out because you definitely can sing and you still rhyming. And you're on the front, let me see this magazine you on the front of right here.
Yes, definitely on the front of the magazine, the Biz magazine. And the main reason is because people, you know, I'm a mogul maker and I'm a mogul. I've been able to sustain in the midst of all this drama and trauma and foolishness and politics of the hip-hop industry and ignorance of the hip-hop industry because I'm a mogul. I was brought into the game as an executive running a record label. So I ran a record label. When people didn't see me or don't see me, it's because I'm not trying to be seen. You feel me? I got so many other things to do that makes me money. I don't have to touch a mic if I don't want to. You feel me? So I make money in my sleep outside of just music. And it's not about money. It's about the progress of you. When somebody's trying to, we gotta have multiple streams of income. You know what I mean? People put us in boxes sometimes. You know what I mean? And we can't keep ourselves in a position. That's why these girls are so happy to take their clothes off and only feel like it's one direction. Because they don't know what it is. They don't have enough content or information or game to really be able, you know.